friends, my name is Amanda and this is my channel, Amanda Colours. Welcome if you are new and welcome back if you are returning. I just want to say a big thank you to all of you who have decided to subscribe to the channel. It really means a lot to me that you want to keep coming back and seeing my content. And just a quick reminder that I do have a Facebook group called Amanda Colours, and you are so welcome to come and join us for all things colouring. And I also have an Instagram account which is at Amanda Colours, Amanda.Colours, sorry. And yeah, I'd love to see you over there too. And also, just so that you know, in all of my videos, in the description, you will always find links to any products that I talk about, any websites, and all the extra information that you might be interested in from the video. So today I am starting a new series that I am calling Learn With Me. So I have been colouring since I was a child, so a very long time. But as I have been exploring the world of colouring again, I guess more seriously, or at least, you know, more regularly in the last year or so, I have come across so many different mediums and different techniques that I have never tried. And I certainly don't pretend to be any sort of professional or expert on colouring. And I thought it might be fun if we learnt how to use some of these mediums together. I'm sure there will be things that you have used before, but equally I'm probably sure that there will be things that maybe you haven't. And let's go through the learning process together because that makes it more fun. Well, I think it does anyway. So today, as you would have seen from the title of this video, I am going to be exploring Derwent Inktense pencils. I have seen these on so many people's channels and seen so many people use them in their colouring, and they just give such a beautiful result that I really wanted to try them. So I bought the 24 set because I want to make sure that I can work out how to use them and get a good result before I invest in a full set. So these are ink pencils. So they're very similar to watercolor pencils, but when they are activated, the what you've put down on the paper turns to ink rather than watercolor. So yeah, as I said, this is the 24 set. I literally only just opened it before I started recording, so I haven't used any of them yet, but there's a pretty good range of colors, and yeah, I'm just going to experiment with them a little bit. I have watched a couple of beginner videos and I found a few videos from Pamela's Passion for Pencils to be really, really helpful. So I will link those up in the iCards because you'll probably find them helpful too. So what I'm going to do is I have some watercolor paper here, and please excuse my dog barking in the background if you can hear him. And I'm going to try I'm just going to try a few different ways of activating them. So I might zoom you in a little bit or a lot of it. So let's try just putting some down. So this is watercolor paper, so it's very textured, very toothy, and this color is Fuchsia 0700. And yeah, so we'll put some down, we'll leave that like that, and I want to try a few different ways of activating to see what I like best. Okay, so we'll leave that one just as pencil without activating it. The first way I'm going to try activating is with the Tombow water-based colourless blender. Can you see that? Yep, there we go. So it's a dual tip. It's got the brush, oops, it's got the brush on one end, which I have obviously used for something blue, and it's been stained, and it has the fine bullet nib on the other end. But I'm going to use the brush end. Might zoom you in a little bit more. Here we go. Okay, so let's see. Ooh. One of the things that I really love about these pencils that I've seen is just how intense the colors are. And I guess that's why they're called Inktense. But that activates really well. And the ink actually moves around on the paper while you're running the pen. Sorry, my brain's not working too well today. While you're running the pen over, the ink actually moves around, so that's really great. Okay, so that's the Tombow colourless blender, water-based. Next, I am going to use water. So I just have a water brush here. And again, it's got some water in it. And let's see how this one works. So that works really well as well. And it really picks up the pigment off the paper. And you don't have the scratchiness of the pencil underneath. It really just picks it all up and gives you beautiful color. It seems like on my screen the colors actually aren't coming through as bright as they are. I've actually found, I just recently got the iPhone 13, and I have found that the color is not as vibrant as I used to have an XS, and the colors used to be more true to color. Anyway, so that's the water brush, and as you can see, they do give a slightly different finish. This one with the water, it looks more watercolory, if that makes sense. You kind of have the different layers of color, and this one, it's really hard to describe the difference. Yes, it has picked up all the pencil and it looks really good, but it also kind of doesn't give the same sort of watery edges as the water does. So next I'm going to try a Copic colorless blender. So this is alcohol based, whereas the other two were water based. So again, this has a bullet nib on one end and it has a brush nib on the other end, and I'm just going to make sure that I get all this color. I think it's stained, but I don't want any bluey green to contaminate. So I think I've got all of that off now, and let's see how it goes. Okay, so again, it picks up really well, but already I don't like the effect as much as the other two. Interesting. Okay, so we have the Tombow water-based blender. We have water and we have the Copic alcohol-based blender. My preference is the water. It just gives a really, oh, and it wasn't dry. It just gives a really lovely finish. So I think that might be what I try and use. So next up, I'm going to try it in a book, which is a little bit scary because I will be learning as I go. let's zoom out. So the book that I will be trying it in is Nature Mandalas, A Colouring Meditation by Melpomene Chatipangiotu. I think that is how you say their name. Hopefully I haven't butchered it too much. This is a new to me book. It is a yet to be touched book, so this will be the first page that I complete. And I'm actually doing it as a body colour. But you will find out all the details about that later on, not in this video, later in the month. Every time I have to break a spine in a colouring book, I think of a friend of mine who loves reading, and I just feel like a little piece of her dies every time I break the spine of a book, because she keeps her books in the most pristine condition. Okay, so my thought was, this is a sun, and these are all sunflowers and other flowers, but this being a sun, I thought I might try and do some yellow Inktense in the background, because in my mind it has a soft yellow background, and all of these little dashes, I can picture them being metallic gold. So I want to try doing the background. In my set of 24 pencils, I have two yellow options. I have sun yellow and I have sherbet lemon. So it would be nice to try and do a combination of the two. One, the sherbet lemon is much more, it's much brighter. It actually has a bit more of a yellow base. A green base, whereas the sun yellow has more of a red base. So I might just, let's zoom you in again. And I might just start. I guess it's the only way to get going. Probably should sharpen the pencils first, but let's just get in there. So I'll do a bit of the sun yellow right in the center or the innermost section. Just a bit, because remember we're going to activate it and it will move and spread. I'd love to know what mediums you would like to learn how to use. Maybe we can learn together. Let me know in the comments, and yeah, I'd be really interested to know what mediums you would like to discover and learn about as well, because there are lots and lots of things. I already have a few video ideas set up in my mind of different things I want to try. So that'll be fun. Just going around all of these sections. Cool, okay. Now, let's go in with some of the sherbet lemon. Again, we don't need to put too much down because the water will make it move and spread. Which is, of course, what we want it to do. I'm not being too precious about it, and I'm not really even trying to be very consistent, because I do want the background to be uneven and watercolory rather than perfect and solid. Almost there. Okay, so from our testing, I decided that I liked the water activation the best. So I am just going to get my watercolor paper again and just really make sure that there's no pink left. Maybe put some more water through and yep, okay. Great. Now, here we go. I don't know how this paper is going to hold up to water either, by the way. I did think about coating it in a clear gesso or a watercolor ground, but I'm just going to see how it goes. So a tip that I learnt is to go from the darker color. No, it was actually the other way. To go from the lighter color into the darker color. So let's go this way. Now I hardly have any water actually on the brush, but it is enough, it seems, to be activating, and it is making the paper warp a little, but I think we'll be okay. And again, I don't want to be too perfect with it. Oops. Just as well, because I do want it to be a background effect rather than a perfect color. I'm wondering, do I go all the way in there? No, I think I will just leave it like this for now. Kind of just do it to this rough edge. So as you can see, I'm starting on the outer edges, going in. It does pick up a bit more color, so then when I come back to the outside, I have more color to play with. And again, I don't know if this is the way you're supposed to do it, but it seems to be working. So let's keep going with it. Oh, okay. So this picture actually means quite a lot to me. My stepfather is American, and he is from Wichita, Kansas. And the state flower for Kansas is actually sunflowers. And they do also happen to be his favorite flowers. And so every time I see sunflowers, I think of him. But at the moment, he has Parkinson's disease, and really every day we wake up and he's still with us is a blessing. He's really coming towards the end of his life, and it's very, very difficult. But I wanted to do this page. It was one of the options that my buddy sent through. And when I saw it, I'm like, yep, I have to do that page because it makes me think of Dave, and yeah, it just kind of feels special at this moment when every moment we have with him is special. My biological father actually passed away a number of years ago from ALS, or motor neurone disease. So this isn't the first time that I have gone through, this isn't the first time that I have gone through, losing a parent through illness. And it's very, very difficult, especially when I have my own health concerns, and every day's a battle with those. But yeah, I am actually living at home with my parents. I stayed to help care for my stepfather, which has become very difficult for me now with the fibromyalgia and arthritis and mental health stuff. But yeah, so, you know, I'm seeing every day the decline and the impact, and it's really, really hard. But anyway, yeah, so sunflowers, they always make me think of Dave, which I think will be a lovely thing going into the future. Okay, so I have finished that, and I think it looks pretty good. I just had a thought that perhaps I should do the outer rim with a green base. So I'm gonna get some water coming through the brush and just kind of wash off any yellow that is on there, which didn't seem to be very much, so that's interesting. Okay, so I have three, kind of four green options, but the three I'm going to choose from are, where am I? Here, there. Okay, field green, apple green, or teal green. So obviously teal's going to have more blue in it, but that could actually be a good thing because, I will zoom you out, because I will be colouring all the detail a green or various greens. So let's try the teal. Again, with our swatchy paper. It's quite a green teal, but let's see what it's like when it activates. Oh my goodness, that's beautiful. Again, it's not looking as bright and vibrant on the screen as it is in real life. That is so lovely. Okay, decision made. So I might just quickly, I might speed up the filming of this section so that it doesn't take too long, and then I will come back to you when I'm about to activate. Okay, so I'm not even sure if you can actually really see that, but I did learn from doing the yellow section that you really, really don't need a lot of colour laid down before you activate it. So I will zoom you in, and I don't know if you can even see zoomed in, but I have just put, you know, little bits of scratchings of the colour on the paper. Just wetting my brush. Okay, So let's start activating. I really didn't want, you know, really bold, solid color. Just wanted some color for the background to give it interest and dimension. Just going in and activating all those areas. And I'm also not too worried about being neat because I can tidy things up when I'm coloring the rest of the picture. It doesn't need to be perfect, which is something I like to remind myself of all the time because I can tend to be a bit of a perfectionist, and it is something that isn't always helpful. So I'm trying to teach myself that it is okay to not have it perfect. So you'll probably hear me say things like that a lot, because the more I say it, the more my brain hears it, and the more I might actually start to believe it and break the pattern. So, oh, you can't see what I'm doing. Yeah, so it's coming out really nice, I think. Need to squeeze a bit more water out. And again, just going through, activating, creating some interest. I must admit, it is looking nicer in real life than it seems to look on my screen. So hopefully it doesn't look too bad for you on the screen there. Again, activating, picking the color up, moving it through different areas. And I know it's a mandala and technically they're supposed to be symmetrical all the way around, but that doesn't really bother me if it's not. So in fact, mostly I prefer when, you know, with a design like this, if it's a little bit asymmetrical. All right, so I might go through and activate the rest of this, and then I will come back to you when that is done. Okay, so there we go. It's a really beautiful color. It's such a shame that I hope you get an idea of it through the screen. Okay, so I will leave this to dry, and then I will go in and color the rest with pencils and gel pens and whatever I feel like. And make sure you check out my completed pages video at the end of this month. It will be in there. And also head over to Instagram to take a look at it there. And I will also show my buddy's picture when she has completed hers. So what did we learn? We learned that a little goes a long way with these pencils. You really don't have to lay down much pigment at all to then activate. We learnt, well, I learnt that my preference is a water brush activation. I guess the other kinds of activation, you know, can work for different looks in different books. How that rhymes. In different pages. What else did we learn? I learned that I really like them. I had fun trying them, and yeah, unfortunately, I think I'm gonna have to buy the full set because they're beautiful. This is really the first water-based medium that I've tried, so I don't really have anything to compare it to, but I will be trying more things in the future. But again, if there's anything that you've been wanting to try out, that you would like to see me try out, leave a comment, and you know, we can learn these things together, because it makes it more fun when you do it together. And yeah, if you have any other comments, feel free to leave those as well. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. It really does help the channel. And if you haven't already and you feel like, you know, you like my channel and you like the content, feel free to subscribe to the channel and click the little notification bell so that you know when I post new videos. And thank you so much for watching and learning with me today. I hope that you like the idea of this this new series that I'll be doing. I think it will be a whole lot of fun. So I hope you have an awesome day, and I will see you next time. Bye.